Bunny Girl Senpai is just too good. And what amazes me the most about this series is how fast it can set up a narrative. I was immersed, I was mesmerized by what was going on the screen in this episode within the first 5 minutes. I don't even know her sister, but I was so just mesmerized by what was going on screen. I thought it's so good. Just A+ fucking material, man. And that was because immediately it gave us something that we could relate to. Once again, the realism of the show came into play. Sometimes we all have that older sibling that maybe some people really like to compare. They really like to compare you to your older sibling. Maybe your older sibling's better at something. Maybe he's better at multiple things. Maybe he's just all around more complete than you, and you're only good and or better than him at one or two things. Maybe that's it. And I love that. But what gets me more than anything is the simple fact that this show gave us two-way perspective. It had a body swap. It had my body swap with their little sister, and now they are living each other's lives. What does that do? It gives us dual perspective. It makes us understand more than we could ever hope to understand as an audience, and ever hope to understand as in the characters, like in terms of the characters. Now they understand each other more than they ever could. This is what you go through. This is what you go through. This is how our parents treat you. This is how my mom treats me. This is how your mom treats you. Our moms have a competition. That's just that dad that yeah, sure, he cares about both of us, but no matter what, he's reaping the rewards. Both my daughters are popular. One may not be nearly as popular as the other, but so I'm not going to say anything. I'm just shut up. Hey, it's a win-win situation for me. And it kind of shows you how big of a POS their parents are. Just POS parents. It's that simple. Just POS parents. And these two actually like what they're doing. They like living the celebrity life. That sucks. That sucks, man. Because it's like a double-edged sword. Think about that. That's crazy to think of, man. And it's just amazing writing for the show to actually do that. Give us the dual perspectives. That's how it's done. It's kind of copycatting a little bit of what they did last week, except it's the same person. So it's very similar concept, but different. So that's really cool to see what Bunny Girl Senpai is actually doing this episode. And I will tell you this right now. This is going to be a fun arc, and it could wrap up next week, and it'd be complete. It'd be A+ material, because it's that good. It's that good right now, man. Cloverworks has done a great job of following the source material, and the same author that does Sakurasu no Pet, phenomenal job as well, man. So, hopping on to the next thing, you got to think about this. Why did they switch bodies? The inferiority complex. Of course, that's going to play a role. If you're going to feel inferior if someone is better than you at everything, especially if they're a relative and you get compared to said person. Oh my gosh, are you ever going to get compared, man? Think about it. You're really going to get compared. And whenever everyone's hounding you saying the same shit, and that same shit is not good about you, it's saying, hey, you're not as good as that person every day, or at least twice, once or twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. In this case, maybe it's like 5 or 7 times a week. I mean, heck, look, is it Nobunda? My sister, I'll call her my sister. She even said, my mom would always say, why can't you do what I can? Like, think about that, man. That's ridiculous. And if I had a mom or dad that did that, I'd probably sock them right in the mouth and be like, listen, I am who I am. You can go to hell. That's what I would say. Like, no. I don't care if they're your mom, dad, or whatever. You can't never allow someone to disrespect you like that. So, I mean, that's the ultimate disrespect. That's not love. That's, I want you because you make me more money. You flourishing makes me happy, sure, but for all the wrong reasons, right? You becoming famous makes me happy for all the wrong reasons. So think about that. That's something that you guys should actually think about whenever you look at this show. But even at the point like this has always been a competition. This is where things kind of get even more shitty. So my states that as soon as they got divorced, they mom and me for getting into a new troupe, new set of dancers, new set of actors, a new group of famous people, quote unquote, just to do it in spite of dad. Just so we left the group dad wanted me to be in. You know what dad did to fire back on mom? She had my little sister join a new troupe as well. Huh. Wow. I wish we could meet the other two parents. I mean, Mai's mom is already a POS. Who cares? I don't give two shits about her. I don't like her. She's a POS person. She cannot be redeemed as far as I'm concerned. And we know that's not going to happen this season. You know, hopefully there'll be a season 2. I mean, I don't see how these Blu-ray discs don't sell. This is A+ material. But nonetheless, it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, man. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about in this episode, sure, and I just covered a lot of it, and there's probably even more we could talk about outside of Sakuda saying he wanted Mai's legs to sandwich him, which is something that I did not see coming and something that probably shouldn't have been said. And I rewatched it about 3 times saying, did this man really say this? But nonetheless, it happened. So other than that, to looking down my notes, I mean, that's really all we had to cover. This was not supposed to be the longest of video. This is pretty basic. I don't want to say basic. It's set up very nicely, but it's pretty understandable stuff, pretty easily understandable concepts. But this arc, what I really want to see it do next is really kind of dive deeper, I guess. I want to see, you know, we're seeing already that it seems as if Mai's not struggling. If you really pay attention, it doesn't look like Mai's struggling at all. She's working her butt off, but she's getting it. She's someone who doesn't just get it easily. She's someone that, well, she does kind of get it easily. She's someone who can work hard at it for a week and have it down pat. Obviously, her little sister's someone who can work at it hard for a month and maybe have it down pat, but not as good. What this shows is even in terms of celebrities, there are different ranking systems. Like, for the average person, like, let's say for someone who's in sports, you always have that tier 3 player. You know, the worst of the worst on your basketball team, baseball team, whatever it may be. Then you have the people that are mediocre. They're good. They're good. You know, good supporting cast. You know, they play their roles. They do what they need to do. Then you have the good players. You know, those top 3 players on your team. That's tier 1. But then it goes to show you, once you get to college, the tiers are different. Tier 3 is probably your tier 1. Tier 2 is probably like, oh man, just think about it. Think about this. This is funny because you really gotta think about it, and it's laughably funny because it's so serious and it's so real. Tier 3 on a college team is probably your tier 1s on your high school team. And then once you get to the elite level, the worst of the worst are the best of D1 basketball players, baseball players. The best are the best. You know, the worst of the best are the best of the people you thought were the best whenever you're younger. Professional level is a whole new level. And there's even tiers to the professional level. Think about that. There's 3 different tiers. 1, 2, 3 high school. 1, 2, 3 college. 1, 2, 3 professional. And then the cream of the crop, man. And that's what Mai is. You got to think about that. That's a lot of pressure. People think once you've made it, you've made it. No. If you're really, you've made it, but if you want to make it even more, if you really are determined to be as best as you can be, you have to beat the best of the best. And in this case, if you have a sibling and your parents are putting this kind of pressure on you, then of course it's going to be a shit show. I understand her little sister a lot. You know, I could sit here and talk about how this video was supposed to end like probably 5 minutes ago, but look, something popped in my head. But if I really look at the siblings and the whole thing about I hate you, I don't like you, that is animosity. I think that's the perfect term. It's animosity. It's not hate or dislike. It's animosity. It's anger. It's anger that you not necessarily caused, but you are part of. You are part of the problem. You are, maybe you didn't do it intentionally, just being yourself, but you're indirectly part of the issue, right? You're not directly. You didn't say I suck. You didn't compare me to you, but everyone around us is, and that's because you're so good. So it's just indirectly part of the problem, per se, right? Technically, you caused it, but you didn't force the issue. So I understand that. And, you know, Mai also said something I want to say. She's like, oh, second term, I took a lot of time off and made my schedule not busy, but not as busy, so I could hang out with you. It'll be back to normal if we're at school because I'll see you all the time. That's something that I did want to touch on because that's something that kind of upsets me. It looks like we're not going to get into the true struggle of Mai's and Sakuta's relationship. Mai and Sakuta's relationship, to me personally, is something that's obviously there's a struggle there. And obviously it's going to get worse and worse. And I mean, the junior and sophomores. So I wanted that to really be explored, whether that's explored in the movie that's already been confirmed before season 1 came out. Talk about having some big cojones. They knew this was going to be a good show. They knew, Cloverworks knew the source material they were working with. And then on top of that, if it does get a season 2, I could very easily see that this show shows the struggles of the relationship. I could definitely see it show the struggles of the relationship in season 2. How, hey, I'm gone all the time. How's this relationship supposed to function? Is it going to come to a point to where she has to pick a path, Sakuta or that? Is it going to come to the point to where they have to separate for a while? Is a fork in the road coming to where each one have to go take a left, take a right? I don't know. And that's something I'm interested in seeing later on. But other than that, though, guys, I mean, good stuff. Great content, grade A, man. I love the show. It deserves all the praise it gets. It's that good. As the first 9 episodes already happened. I will not forget what happened. Anyone who forgets what happens for most of a show just because 1 or 2 episodes are about an end is ignorant. But trust me, a show can go from an A to a B. But don't forget what's there. But so through the first 9 episodes of Bunny Girl Senpai, this show's in my top 10. It's somewhere in 10 or 7. You know, I look at shows like ReZero, Attack on Titan, Snafu, Bunga Stray Dogs, My Hero Academia, so on and so forth. Those shows have had multiple seasons. They've had 2 seasons. Yet, if you want to get my top 5, give me 2 good seasons. Maybe the movie will be so good that I'll still move it in there. I don't know if it's canon. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's anime original, but still technically canon, or it's going to be pulled from the source material. I don't know. I had to look into that. But nonetheless, this show is in my top 10. First 9 episodes, it's somewhere between 10 and 7. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. Maybe it could sneak into 6, but I don't know. That'd be maybe a stretch. But this show's special. The show's good. It deserves every merit, all the merits it's been given. It deserves all the credit in the world. Good writing. Same author, Sakurasu No Pet. Haven't seen it, but I've heard amazing things, so I guess it makes sense. I'll see you guys next time. You get some next. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, @Hex25. Peace.